Good evening. I'm MJ from Lioness Publications, and I'd like to continue with John Roberts, and we're going to look at his transits. Earlier, we did his natal chart, which I thought was very interesting. There's a lot there. And we're just going to finish up on the transits. Shouldn't take too long, because I'm not covering all of them. I'm covering the ones I think that are pretty important. So without further ado, let us move right into this. First thing we have happening right around 1229 and also up to 127 is first we have Neptune that is going to be in conjunct Pluto. So in effect, this is in conjunct, can't get there from here. Saturn in a difficult angle is restriction. So it works in effect against you. It's a break and adjust. So it's breaking a path that you were on, and you have to adjust. Pluto here indicates that there's probably some type of pressure, manipulation. There's some type of need for control, either by him or by someone else. And what this is suggesting possibly is that maybe they have a case that's going to be coming up around the beginning of January, and they're being pressured on it already, or he's being pressured. We won't know until we see what comes up. Now let's take a look at the next one, and that is for 127. That's going to be Saturn, and it's going to be in conjunct Neptune. Again, Saturn in a difficult angle is restriction. This is an inconjunct. It's a break and adjust. Usually it breaks your path. You can't continue on, which means you have to adjust somehow to be able to continue. So what's happening here? Neptune is his vision. It's his idealism. So in some ways that may be being restricted. Maybe what he wants to do. Maybe somehow, maybe some of the other justices putting barriers up to what he wants to accomplish. Or it could be someone outside of the Justice Department. So now let's move on to the next one. And this is for March 19th. So this is Saturn, and it's squaring both the north and the south nodes. Now, the nodes are karmic points. Normally, the south node is sort of the past, where we sort of seem to be drawn back to. We keep on repeating the same mistakes, and it's old attitudes, old ideas, versus the north node is where we grow towards. So in effect, this is a decision point for him. So it will be very interesting to see what cases, if any, are being heard at that point. It could be that maybe it's not cases being heard. Maybe they're doing discussions on an existing case that was heard earlier. But this does indicate that he is having decision between going back to what he normally does or to move ahead. And that moving ahead is taking a different path. Okay, getting rid of his past patterns, in effect, his old attitudes, and going in a future direction. So it could be interesting. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to take that path. He could just revert back. But any decisions that are coming out that might have been decided at this time, be interesting. Now let's take a look at our next one. And this is, we've got Saturn that is conjuncting Mars. And this is on 428. This is going to be uncomfortable angle because Mars in your chart, in the natal chart, is where you have your action. You want to act. It's what moves you forward. Saturn is, in effect, it can be a restrictive type of influence on the Mars when it's conjunct. Now, it could also keep you from making rash decisions, but it tends to cause Mars not to be able to act, which means that you tend to be a little anxious, stressed, because you can't do what you want to do. Now, conjunction can be either a good, let's not say good, let's say a beneficial or a difficult angle, depending on which planets are involved. Saturn can be difficult here. Now, it can sort of focus him and make sure he goes right according to procedures. So this could be something where he's working on a case and he's really following every single item, every single opinion to make sure he does something correct before he moves forward. Now, let's take a look at our next one. And this is for May 9th. And it's also covering May 27th, because on May 9th, we have Jupiter trying Saturn. And then on May 27th, we have Jupiter conjunct Jupiter. Important dates, because in May, typically this is when the first decisions come out from the cases that the Supreme Court heard. I believe it's the third Monday in May, and then they also put out decisions in June. So this means the first one that we have, this Jupiter trying Saturn, is actually nice. This means that he's probably feeling, I don't want to say happy, he's feeling comfortable with his decisions. And since it's Jupiter, it could indicate that there might be a little bit more of a tend towards the expansion type of view. So it could be that not so much he's siding with the left side of the court, but maybe he has moved more to the middle. Because again, Jupiter tends to be expansive. So that sort of relates it to sort of the types of policies that Democrats might have, versus Saturn is restrictive. Now, note in his natal chart, he does have Jupiter trying Saturn. So that's a great combination. So they're both trying to work together in his natal chart, and they do. So the Jupiter here might be indicating maybe in one of the cases, there might be a little bit more of a bent towards the left. But it may not be enough to go over the line. We'll just have to see. Could be also that his opinion is a little different than what it would normally be. Now, at the end of the month, when we have some decisions being released, we have the Jupiter conjunct Jupiter. This only happens once every approximately 12 years. So this is actually, it's a very nice point and sort of reinforces that the sort of expansion type of policy might be something that he seems to be happy with at this point. Now, that covers him up to about the time that the decisions are reached. Now, he doesn't have a lot going on, but he's got enough going on considering all the angles he has in his natal chart. So it'll be interesting to see his decisions, especially since we have that North Node involvement, which means he comes to a decision point. And also the fact that we have Jupiter sort of finishing off when the opinions are about the time that the opinions are being released. I hope you enjoyed this and have a great evening. Bye now.